So today I am in my homeschool corner, which means today's topic is homeschooling. Most recently, I have been sharing on TikTok small snippets of our day at Homeschool Co-op, and it has gauged a huge interest. I have loved that. I didn't think so many people would be interested in it, but I am here for it. So today, my video is on Homeschool Co-op and everything that you need to know. So I did a little questionnaire over on Instagram asking what your guys' most requested homeschool co-op questions were. Number one, what is a homeschool co-op? So to make it plain and simple, it is a group or a community of homeschooling families who get together to teach our children together. Now there are two types of homeschool co-ops. There's ones you can drop your kids off for a few hours and they will learn. And then there are homeschool co-ops that I am in, and it is parent ran, it is parent led. So you don't drop your kids off at this homeschool co-op. All of us parents volunteer there to teach our children, which is what we do. We are a kid teacher. We're just now teaching other people's kids. So that's what it is. We teach different classes. Each one of us, we bring a different dynamic to the group, and we are a community that gets together so our kids can have time with other homeschool families, and us as moms, we also get to have time with other homeschool parents as well. So I'll go down my list of questions here. There's no rhyme or reason, but let's just go ahead and begin. How do you find a homeschool co-op? For me personally, I went to Facebook. I put in my area, you put in Dallas homeschool co-op, and a couple popped up for me. So once I joined that group, I was able to get a gauge on where they were located, things like that. Another thing is just to look up a homeschool group in your area. So Dallas homeschoolers, Dallas homeschoolers, and ask the question, where are the local homeschool co-ops at? How can I get more information on that? And that will guide you that way. Another way is to just Google it, of course. Google it and just see what is out there in your area. And it's easy like that. If you find a homeschooling family, a lot of them have a lot of information. So many people are so knowledgeable on this, but a quick Facebook search or Google search will get you where you need to be. Alrighty, at Homeschool Co-op, do you stay or drop off? I kind of said this again. There are two. You can stay, you can drop off. I personally am in a co-op that you stay in. You stay all day with your child. All right, do you have to teach a class when you join a co-op? So when you join a co-op, you do not necessarily have to teach a class, but you need to support the co-op in a certain way. So we have parents who are group leaders who will lead a group of 6-year-olds to each of their classes. We have families who help with meal prep. We have families or parents who help in the nursery while we're teaching the school-aged children. And then we have all of the moms who do teach a class. So you do need to help in a certain way at the co-op, but you don't necessarily have to teach a class. So some of us, some parents aren't, that's not their forte. They're not good at teaching a certain subject, so they will help in other ways. I guess something else I should mention is co-ops do cost money. It just varies on, how big your co-op is going to be, but they do range from, I think like $35 to like $200. So it just depends on that. Yeah. All right, next question is how often do you go and how many kids are at these co-ops? So the co-op that I am in is once a week. Usually they are once a week with field trips also. So there'll be one day we're at Homeschool Co-op, but then they offer field trips that you can go to if you want to, multiple times a week actually. And how many kids? So we are in a relatively smaller Homeschool Co-op, and there are still like 90 children, but they can get pretty big. They can get up to like 300 kids, just depending on how big your area is. What ages? So it is for all of your children. So that Bear is my only child who is technically in school. He is a kindergartner, but he does have foster siblings who are under his age, and I am able to bring them. So it is nursery through whatever age your co-op goes to. Now our co-op, I think our oldest kids are 12 years old, but there are high school co-ops as well. We are just in one for I believe 6th grade and under, but there are ones for older as well. And another person asked, what do we do with other little kids? So y'all know I have babies. My babies do not go with me currently because on the day of our co-op, my husband is off of work, but they are welcome to come. They take newborn all the way up. And so your kiddos will be in their own class. So they have a 2-year-old and under class, then they have a 3-year-old preschool class, a 4-year-old pre-K class, and then the 5s will go to the kinder or go to all the classes with all of the other children. But there are classes for every age there. That brings me to another class, is there preschool and pre-K? Yes, there is. And we actually have families who don't have older kids, they just have pre-K. Preschool students, but they know they're planning to homeschool in the future, so they do bring their kids to the co-op as well, which is amazing, especially because if they do have a little, like a 2-year-old sister or even a 10-month-old sister, they can go to their nursery room while your kid is learning in pre-K. It's a really awesome thing, especially for us homeschooling parents, because all of us are basically stay-at-home parents or working-at-home parents, so we don't have sitters. So we have to take all of our kids everywhere with us. And so we just utilize some of those parents who want to work in the nursery with the babies. That's just kind of how it works out. Okay, where are we at? Is it religious affiliated? Some of them are, some of them are not. Most of them are, in my opinion. Most of them are. You do have to find one that is not. You will have to really look through and weed through if you do not want one that is religious affiliated. Ours is hosted at a church. Our kids do not do Bible study or anything like that, but it's definitely faith-based, very kind learning, things like that. And so you just have to find one that works for you. Now there are families that are in our co-op who definitely do not like follow the Christian religion, but they are still in our homeschool co-op, and that is totally fine. We are all just here for our children. Alrighty, what do I do at the homeschool co-op? So we have now been at this co-op for 2 semesters. First semester, I was the cooking teacher. I helped, it was called Kids in the Kitchen, and the kids prepped food. They learned about cooking using different kitchen tools, things like that. They made snack every day for the co-op, and I taught them all of the lessons for that. Me and another co-teacher whom I loved, and that was my job. I made food, and then every 2 weeks we would make food for the whole co-op that the kids would make, which was really awesome. Now this year I have moved to a different subject. At the beginning of the semester, they will ask you what subjects you would like to teach, and then they'll kind of choose from there. I came up with the idea of a kinder class. So I do teach the 5 and 6-year-olds for about 45 minutes a day, and it's kindergarten based. Because our kids are not going to kindergarten, I did a kindergarten based class. So every single week we are doing something that our kids would be learning in kindergarten. So a history lesson based in kindergarten, or we did time. We've done fun themes like St. Patrick's Day, things like that. All of the things that your kids would do in kindergarten, that's what me and my co-teacher, whom I love, Amber, hey Amber, are teaching. So that is what I'm doing this semester. But every semester is different. You kind of give what you're good at. So we have teachers who are art teachers, animal teachers, history. We even have a business class. So you give what you're good at, and then they will put our classes for this semester. They will form our classes for this semester. Hope that makes sense. Okay, is it more interactive than public school? I kind of hesitated on this because I have not sent any of my kids to public school. But if I was going to say what I think about that, would be that at homeschool co-op, I believe that it is more hands-on. Our kids are having more opportunities based on the classes we have, more one-on-one teaching. You have an option between classes, and something that's also really awesome is that we are there all day for our kids. So if there's something our child needs from us, we are able to help them at any given moment. So I definitely think it's more interactive from my perspective. Now, we only go 1 day a week, so obviously public school kids are there every day. But this is definitely, for a homeschool kid, definitely something that's interactive. So I would love to hear some of your guys' opinions on that in the comment section. If you have done public school and homeschool co-op, if you definitely think it's more interactive. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Okay, next question is, do your kids switch classes? Yes. So at the beginning of every semester, if your child is 5 years old and up, they will have a choice between 3 different classes. Oh, they will have 3 different classes, but they will get to choose between like 5 classes. They'll choose their top 3 classes that they will take, and they're gonna take that for the whole semester. So last year, Bear was in Animal Encounters, again, story time and telling, which was really cool. They would read a story and then they would do like a theme based on that story, which was awesome. And then he was in gardening, where he learned about plants and things like that. So those were his classes last semester. This semester he is in Animal Encounters again, because he loved it so much. He is in Teamwork Dreamwork, which is a skill class. They teach a lot of gross fine motor skills, which is awesome for his age. And then lastly, he's in a kinder class, which is the class that I teach. So there are lots of different options and different ages too. So like I know a lot of the 12-year-olds, they're in a business class, they're in an art history class. So there are a variety of classes for your kids. All right, do you think it's enough socializing for your kids? I definitely think so. So the funny thing about the socializing is that's one of the first things as homeschool families hear is that, oh, your kid's not gonna be socialized enough. And I think that for most of us homeschool families, we know that that's not the truth. Most homeschool families are out multiple times a week, if not every day during an activity. For instance, our homeschool group, our homeschool co-op group is once a week, and they host field trips like a couple times a week. So we are able to even go to field trips, get the homeschool discount, and get to be with other kids, other families. They do parks every week. They do a lot of community things. So we are out a lot. We don't just stay home. Homeschoolers are learning out and about. For instance, like this next Monday, we're gonna go to the zoo to learn about animals. We're gonna go to the museum to learn about, you know, different artifacts and things like that. So definitely enough socializing. We have met a lot of friends through this group. We are almost out of our house every single day doing at least something with our kids. And my kid doesn't have to sit in a desk all day long. So that's something I really love. I also love how I can teach in real time. So if we're learning about dinosaurs, we can go to the dinosaur museum. Or if we're learning about the lake, we can go to a lake. I really love that. So I definitely think it's enough socializing, especially then having sports and things like that. Our kids are definitely being socialized a lot. All right, I think that was all of my questions. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should say about co-op. So, like I said, it's a big group of us who show up every week to teach our kids. I have really loved it. We even, every other week, we bring a lunch, and it's really fun to sit and eat and talk with other moms and just give ideas to each other. I've had so many times that I have doubted myself as a homeschooling parent, and then I talked to another homeschooling mom and I'm like, you know what did you do for reading? What did you do for math? Or how did your kid get through this? And then they're able to tell you their experience. And that is one of my favorite things, because nobody's like trying to hide what they're trying to teach their kids, right? We're all in this together. And it's really been a benefit for me as a homeschooling mom, because I'm able to see how other children my son's age are doing. And although you never compare your kid to another kid when you're a homeschool family, it's just nice to see that they're doing the same things that we're doing. Even if they're at a different pace, it's just nice to see that, okay, I'm doing a good job. Because sometimes as a homeschooling mom, you doubt yourself. Like, oh my gosh, am I teaching my kid the right thing? Well, meeting other moms and families that are homeschool families is really, really nice to see what they're doing. Also, like, bursting questions or ideas off of each other is really nice. I know Amber, my teacher, the girl who teaches with me, we throw ideas off each other all the time because our kids are the same age, and that's just a fun thing to do. So if you have the opportunity to look into a homeschool co-op, I definitely would. If you're thinking about homeschooling, just know that this is something that will amplify your learning, get you out of the house, and help you to be a better homeschooling parent as well. So if you have any more questions, go ahead and drop them below. I will try to be answering questions all day over the next couple of weeks, just so that we can make sure all of you who have questions about homeschool co-op, I can get them answered for you. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. We're gonna post every day in April here, and then y'all see me on TikTok every day, Instagram every day. But that is it for my homeschool topic of the week. Every Thursday, I will have a new homeschooling video. I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye, guys.